Hello, Sue. My name is Amanda, and I'm a parent educator working with the Department of Children and Families. How are you today?
I've been better.
Well, I definitely want to talk with you more about that, but before we go on, I do have to let you know that due to my involvement in this case and my collaboration with the Department of Children and Families, I do have to let you know that any information shared in our sessions is completely confidential, meaning that I will not share that information with anybody. However, I am a mandated reporter, which means that I have a legal and ethical obligation to share information with the necessary parties if you are or become a danger or a threat to yourself or others. Other than that information, I'm only required to report to the Department of Children and Families your compliance and participation within our programs, as they are requiring you to participate in these sessions in order to have your children come back home. With that said, can you tell me what prompted DCF involvement with your family?
Well, 2 weeks ago, I came home from work to find my boyfriend laying face first on the floor in a puddle of vomit. He wasn't breathing. The police were called by my neighbor after my youngest, Myrtle, ran to their house after coming home from school, which was shortly after me, and seeing the situation. Then that night, DCF came and took my kids away. I lost my boyfriend and both of my kids that night.
That had to have been really hard. Can you tell me a little bit about your understanding of why you were here today?
I have no idea. I'm not a bad mom. DCF is just making my situation more difficult than it needs to be. They are making me jump through hoops to get my kids back, and I didn't even do anything wrong. I could be with my kids right now instead of spilling my life out to a complete stranger.
That has to be a really frustrating feeling. Before we start to dive into the program, what do you know about our services and what we offer?
I've never heard of you guys. I'm only here because I'm being made to.
Okay. Well, I understand that. I do want to let you know a little bit about our organization, though. So, we support healthy families, which means we work together with the families to build a stronger family dynamic by guiding parents that we work with to proper resources depending on the obstacles that they may be facing at the moment. Does that sound like something that you and your family could benefit from?
Yeah.
All right, so the first question I want to ask is, what struggles do you feel like you are facing right now?
Other than what I've already told you, my boyfriend overdosing and my kids being taken from me, I've also just lost my job as well. So I don't know what I'm going to do about employment or money to stay in my apartment.
So it sounds like you're dealing with a lot right now. With everything going on, how are you caring for yourself?
I literally just sit at home by myself and cry all day. When I really can't take it anymore, I take a pill or two and go to sleep for the rest of the day. It's not like I have to go to work anyway. There's nothing else to do now that my kids aren't even home with me.
So I heard you mention that you take a pill or two. What are you taking to sleep? Is it prescribed by a doctor?
No, it's what was left over from my deceased boyfriend, and it's Oxycontin.
Okay, so it kind of sounds like you're turning to substance use at the moment as a form of support?
Yeah, I would say so.
Okay. So moving forward, are you receiving any other services or forms of assistance or support at this time? Do you have any family that live nearby?
I haven't spoken to any of my family in years. They stopped talking to me when I moved in with my boyfriend because they didn't like the things that got physical when him and I would fight. They also live a couple states over.
So that has to be pretty difficult, not having many supports nearby. What would you say some of your individual strengths would be?
I don't think I have many strengths, but I want to have my kids back, and I'll try to be strong and get them back.
Okay, so that's definitely a strength that you acknowledge that you love your children and you want them back home.
Mhm.
Okay, so that's definitely a good starting point. What do you enjoy doing in your spare time?
Well, I used to like to spend time with my kids. I like taking pictures, and I like seeing the ocean.
All right. So, what do you like to do in your spare time?
Before all of this, I wrapped myself up in my family. I would go out with the kids. I would have a routine with them after they came home from school. Now I don't do anything but sit at home and relive things from the past. My family is what took up my spare time.
Okay, well, thank you for sharing that. What do you feel needs to happen for you to move forward in a healthy manner and be reunited with your children?
I know I need to find a job and make sure my kids still have a house to come home to. I know they need to see me happy, and I need to be able to take care of them without melting down. I know I need to stop taking the oxys too. I just don't know how else to feel better. I need to learn how to be a single parent and somehow support myself and my children. I don't know how I'm going to be able to do this.
Well, Sue, I hear that things are stressful right now, and although we just started discussing everything, I feel like right now is actually a key time to end today's session. I only say this because after us making a list of your self-identified strengths and weaknesses, and discussing a little bit about your current situation with the loss of your boyfriend and your children being taken away and now losing your job, we now have a starting point to making this goal of having your children come back home to a healthier, more confident mother a reality, given consistent sessions and serious participation in the program. We will be able to find and apply to additional resources to get you through this tough time as well. So I do want to thank you so much for meeting with me today. I know the first meeting can be very stressful, but I would like to set up a meeting for next week to continue. Would that be okay?
Mm-hmm.